Thank you so much for having me. I really love this event, and I'm so pleased to be able to be a part of it. All right, so this first poem that I'm going to read to you today is about the universe and the ways in which the universe can serve as maybe a metaphor for a relationship, like these theories that it's expanding on forever, or it's going to expand until it comes to a point where things will start to come back. Right? Okay. So this is called Bang. We fell asleep for eons, lulled by the universe's B-flat, nestled atop a sizzling pink network of stars. I saw you clearly, the plush roar of Andromeda churning just above our bed. We spent a millennia locked in thumb war, the loser always blowing dry, sweat from the winner's body. Tonight we sleep on cold meteor bits and dust. Odd how quickly a universe created can begin to drift away. Tell me, on what day the cavalcade withdrew? I hear nothing beyond the juiceless shuffle of our bodies as we turn and turn and turn. Thrust out so far, we cannot locate the light of our own pinprick origin. By the faint light of a neutron star, I write you a letter. It reads, "Do not drift away. We were never meant to build a dark cathedral. We who strung up mirror balls to dangle in the sky. Remember how a silver square of light could spin us dizzy? What if we met along the eaves of the furthest event horizon, allowed the brightness of 80 billion galaxies to break across our backs? We could fold our figures down into a single speck-black atom, every old division then compressed against the dark. There must be enough material in this universe for gravity to usher us back." Oh gosh, thank you. This next poem is, I'm really pleased to say that it's appearing in this issue of the Cream City Review, and it's called Lost Body. To feel her in my body swelling still, to see the trash can overflow with towels soaked in blood, to keep them, to wonder what is real. When she left, I purred heat for days, bedridden with trees in bloom, hating the blood-black plums, hating the one fat vein that bisects every leaf. Some days, I ride the bus through the shifts of several drivers. I give 20s to a broken man who plays guitar on his knees. I press my thighs in church pews and restaurant booths where it seems the feeling of a body might appear. But every mother with a child knows I let us part in blood. Abortion can mean both on purpose and by accident, but there is always a pocket for blame. I buy new sheets and towels. I kiss my husband. I try shriveling down to a single point. I try exploding. In movies, when a soldier gets slashed across the belly, his hands drop. An instinct to gather his guts. The agony of opening will cease when he dies. Breathe and wait. This is minutes. I am alive, but must be dying. To feel her in my body swelling still. A cradle, my abdomen, how I tried. Now, gather up my blood silk, girl. Now, pour her back inside. I didn't warn you. That one was sad, and I was going to warn you, but I didn't. All right, so this is a little bit lighter. These last two poems I read you will be about love, and that's it. So this poem, the only thing that you might need to know is there's this thing called the Mach bond. And it's the idea that there's darkness and there's light, and if they're put next to each other, that the darkest space is the darkness next to the light. And there's this theory that maybe moths aren't trying to get to the light, but maybe they're trying to get into that really dark space, and that's why they're always throwing themselves on it. Okay, so this is called Because I Don't Know How to Be the Other Woman. I try to impress him by saying, one whistle means the train has stopped, two, and it releases its brakes. It's August, and our sweat is leaving imprints against the sheets, so dark they could be blood. Around midnight, he moves the bed and pounds the wall where it seems crickets have settled. To keep from professing love, I explain how a moth's heart extends the length of its body and pumps the abdomen flush. I tell him everything except what they're desperate for, darkness. In a frenzy to fold their bodies on the black line, they swarm the shadow and pass into a fluorescent mouth of heat. How easy to be tricked by that illusion of gradient hugging the cusp of light. As my body pushes for his, I can't stop adoring his one mismatched tooth, or the way he inhales between statements, where every and has a long hard A. I don't want him to know how I'm pulled toward the dust-worn iron of passing trains, moths battered against the screen these nights half sick with sweat. His chest, my track of darkness, and I worry all he's waiting for is to see how white I'll burn. All right. This last poem is about Carlsbad. Do you guys love Carlsbad? If you haven't been, you need to go. You must go, because I had been as a child and then recently went as an adult and felt like I was on another planet. I was on Mars. It was spectacular. So this poem is called Rough Anatomy, a mapping. Part 1. Outside the oil fields, my mouth is smoke. It's pitch pine and I love you, past the marker where the dunes turn blonde and blind us, and we cannot find each other, an absence that damages even the tips of our tongues. You say all deserts are dead seas, and we've never been creatures who could figure out another way to breathe. Take me into the lungs of the Delaware Basin. You bring water, I'll take pictures. Maybe you'll discover you love me, like the architecture of a gypsum chandelier. Part 2. Ruthless how it's always night inside the earth. A cave can only be named as such if it exists in total darkness. You panic a little as the air inside our chests begins to disappear. Stray bats pulse towards stalagmites, and I want you to ignore all the signs, to stick out your hands, because there's a sweetness in the gypsum we might never understand. The bond is patient. It has taken acid 10,000 years to map this rough anatomy. Would it matter if you knew? I would wait 10,000 years for a single thread of water to tunnel through. Thank you so much.